Dave, after I spoke to you on Tuesday and spoke to the lads really on Tuesday, there was a real disappointment that they only came away with a point. How have the lads really reacted, when you spoke to them? Obviously you've only been here training twice, but do they really feel like more up for the game tomorrow now?
I think you're up for any game. I don't think anything different. I think we're disappointed because we haven't won. That will always be the case, regardless of who we're playing and where we're playing. Again, you have to reflect and I suppose give them some information and some clips and stuff around the thoughts on the game. It's always raw after a game when you've not won and you've got, I suppose, so close. We could have lost that game, which would have been, like I say, would have been a travesty. But we were in control, and we've all got to learn from it. Includes, like I say, us coaching staff. Probably not overreacted, but maybe made changes that probably in hindsight didn't need making. Physically, we looked a little bit off. That certainly wasn't the case. We were, like I say, our physical stats were right up there again. So it is a case of probably an admission that we probably got caught up in the fact that it was a frustrating night. There wasn't going to be masses and masses of chances because of how they banked in, but being comfortable within your own skin, if you like, that's acceptable. And if we have to win that game 1-0 and we have to win that game 1-0 by maybe just keeping the ball on the halfway line and drawing them out, then there's no wrong in that. And like I said, that'll be something will certainly help us further as we move forward.
How much does the game plan change going in tomorrow? A completely different side that's at a different end of the table. How much work does it take to really change how we're going to play and how we set up for against Torquay tomorrow?
It makes no difference what end of the table they're at. Every side's different. For us, we'll look at team strengths and weaknesses. We'll look at us and what we need to improve on. We'll look at giving players pictures and ideas if teams set up in a certain way, and that'll be something that'll be useful to us over the course of a season. Every game is individual, and you take it on its merits. We will look at, I suppose, what we're going to do and what areas we can get into to hurt Torquay, but also recognise where their strengths are and what they'll do, and then they'll do exactly the same for us. So again, should be a good game that we're looking forward to. But it's no different regardless of who we're playing, whether we're home or away, whether we're playing someone top of the league, bottom of the league. We're looking to, again, focus on what we need to do in order to go and win the game. In saying that, what the players have got to do is understand that they have the responsibility, why they're out there, to control what's happening and to understand what's required, because they're the ones that can make the big difference on the pitch. It's difficult for us to make huge differences from the touchline. So them having the belief and the understanding that whilst they're out there, the onus is given to them. They've got the responsibility and to sort of, I suppose, take that on and cherish that and say, go on then, I'm happy to deal with that. I'm comfortable in knowing how we're going to win this game, and hopefully carrying that out.
Every single point this season is important, but how important is it this early in the season, facing a team, looking at two teams that are probably going to be up the higher end of the league this year, and kind of saying, if we go out there on Saturday, get 3 points, we've really put our stamp on the beginning of this season?
Yeah, it's not so much about a stamp on the beginning of the season. We want to get 3 points. That's simple as it is. Every game's an opportunity to do that, and every game we want to do that. If we can't do that, then a point's better than no points. But it is a chance for us to ultimately, I suppose, come Saturday evening, hopefully in it being in a good position in the league. But Torquay are looking at it in exactly the same way. I'm not really a big believer in having to beat certain teams and having to, they're going to be up there, we're going to be up there. Ultimately, you're judged over 44 games, I think, whatever it is this year, and you've got to play everybody twice. There'll be certain occasions through the course of the season, especially this season, where teams maybe haven't got the full teams out because of COVID. There'll be I suppose a backlog of games. There'll be teams in form, not in form, injuries, suspensions. So again, you can look at it and go, it can be a little bit of luck when you play teams. You can't affect that. You just got to again, every game's an individual game. We're looking to go and play against the team that are up at the top of the division, and we're not too far behind them, so it's a chance to, I suppose, stop them getting 3 points. Yeah, but it's a big chance for us to get 3 points, which is the most important thing.
When this goes out, Luke Williams' new contract would have been announced. You know, how happy have you been with his progress, and where do you really see his progress now going from here in terms of game time?
No, Luke's done really, really well, and has been committed to, I suppose, proving a few people wrong, in terms of, he was contracted last season, a contract that was heavily weighted around appearances. He didn't make any appearances because he got injured. He's then not been getting paid all summer and all pre-season. He's come and he wants to play for this football club. He wants to show, I suppose, that the doubters, and there are plenty of them, because, and rightly so, because again he's ultimately been injured and not been able to get himself fit in order to show what he can do. But he's massively driven to play for us. What we've got to do is make sure that we continue to improve him, and he continues to improve himself to get into a level where he can go and affect our team and affect this league. We know that technically he's well above this level. What we've got to get him to is the big challenge was getting to a physical level where he can fit into what our requirements of him, and have that effect in a really competitive physical league, and we're getting closer and closer to that. So again, it will come down to him where he's at. He's in a great place. He's working his socks off. He trusts, I suppose he's getting more and more trust in his body every single day he plays. We'll see where we're at with games, and if we need to make a decision around, I've had this conversation with Luke prior to doing anything with him, if we need to have a look at getting him out and getting him some games for the next month, then so be it. But hopefully he can have like I say, he can get some games with us, and he can affect what we're doing. And if we can get him firing, then undoubtedly we have a player that can have a real positive impact on our squad.
Talking about a player making effect, Ryan Johnson also came in just initially for the month, but has signed his contract extension after playing so well defensively and adding a few goals up the top of the pitch.
Yeah, listen, Ryan's done really, really well, and ideally we'd have liked to have done something straight away with him, because again with Lids going out, he's gone in there with Timmy and done a great job. Gives us great balance in terms of left-sided. Listen, the goals are a bonus. Ultimately I want him to defend well, which he has done, step in with the ball and start attacks for us, which he has done, and like I say, he's with us for an extended period now. Hopefully that extended period is at least till the end of the season. He continue to develop what is a really youthful partnership at centre back with him and Timmy, both of whom I think have got really bright futures, and certainly as a sort of modern day centre backs who are decent enough with the ball, have got good pace, but ultimately as well can do the horrible bits and defend.
On the cameras again tomorrow, just like we were last Saturday. 6-0 will be nice. 6-0 will be nice again, wouldn't it?
It'd be lovely. I think again, maybe a little bit far-fetched in terms of result. I think performance for us is everything. It's a great opportunity in front of national TV cameras to show what we're about, and show where we've come from, and show what I suppose our style, our philosophy, our beliefs are. But ultimately a big chance to get 3 points, and that's the be all and end all. Hopefully we can do that.
Dave, thanks very much.
Cheers.